There are a couple of common complaints with LoL players, lower elo LoL players. Things like they don't get CS, they have very little map awareness, the meta is often broken. You have some of the other ones, like people pick AD or AP and refuse to change from it. And some things like that, there's always going to be players that are going to troll. But a lot of the problems that I see when I'm playing with just average players, I think are caused by the game design of LoL. Level 1 through 20, unless you already know what you're doing, it's going to be very difficult for you to pick up a jungler and actually perform that role. So, in the beginning of LoL, you're learning to play without a jungler, and there's no one practicing that role at all. As you level, you play people that have junglers, and you don't know how to deal with it. That's why I think the jungler isn't often played, or at least not at the elo that I'm at. They're just I'm always the jungler, and no one, very rarely does anyone ever uh, try. Everybody seems to be fine with it. In fact, when I get in games, most players are like, "Oh, anything but the jungler," which is fine with me because I really prefer that role. So people don't uh, play that, I think, because in the beginning levels they don't get to experience that because it's incredibly difficult to first start off and pick a jungler with no runes and no masteries and very little understanding of the game and try to do it. It doesn't work. The second thing I think that really affects uh, the later gameplay is the fact that without runes or masteries, your CSing is incredibly difficult. So nobody really does it until they get to 25s or 30s. And that hurts a lot of players who read and understand that you need that sort of thing, and you watch the other players who just completely ignore it. Pretty easily, with a little bit of thought, there should be a way to continue to have levels, but not push players away from doing the fundamentals of the game. I don't really know how you're going to make somebody be map aware, but for sure, if CSing in the beginning levels wasn't so difficult, it would increase the number of players who would actually do it or understand its benefits. If the game helped you a little bit in understanding at least the fundamentals, because CSing is a fundamental thing. Uh, the players at the medium range would, on average, understand the game a little bit better.